So earlier today, just less than 30 minutes ago, I got on the bus. I was waiting there a cool little bit, and it kind of felt like low key, middle of nowhere. There's not going to be any much people hopping on the bus around this area. And I get inside the bus, say hi to the bus lady. She's nice, and I see this kid on the bus. I don't know if you shit, as a grown adult, you should feel this way, especially this day and age. But, just leave the kids alone. Don't interact with them because you don't want to get in trouble. And even if you're a good-hearted soul, it's like, fuck, you have to think about how scarred the evildoers have made the shit for us to be able to have a good heart and want to act on that without facing repercussions. But anyways, I'm just going to go sit down. I go past him, and he was like, "Hey, what kind of knife do you have?" And I was, I took out my earbud. I was like, "Huh?" And, he just asked me like, "Hey, what kind of knife do you have?" So I came out and I sat next to him, and I was just showing it to him. And what is it? Then I just had the urge. I was like, you know what? I should just give this kid this knife. He seems like a good kid, and he's just out here by his damn self. So, yeah, I gave Rhodey a knife, and then he was pulled out his knife. He was like, "Oh, dude, look at my knife." It was a knife that his dad gave him. Then he just told me a little bit about how his mom and dad are separated. And that's why his dad gave him a knife, so he can be able to keep himself safe. And, he was just talking for like a good 10 minutes about, keeping himself safe, and just what it means. I made sure to tell him things like, only pull out that knife when someone has provoked you and they're touching you, kind of danger. I told him, just because they're big and scary doesn't mean pull out your knife yet. But when they start actually trying to attack you, then you should, things like that. Just so he can keep himself safe correctly and not face any repercussions. And he shouldn't. He's a little boy. He's a little boy. He shouldn't. And he was just talking and stuff, and he was just happy, just talking about knives. And then I remembered I had this big ass knife I got earlier today because I was cleaning out my coworker's truck, and at some point, it just felt like he's had that shit for 5 years and has forgot about everything at the back, like the bottom of the truck. So he was like, everything's trash. I seen this big ass knife and I just put it in my pocket. Never imagined using it, but I just grabbed it. I was like, fuck, it's trash, fuck it, I guess. But anyways, he reminded me of that big knife, and so I was like, oh, you know what? Let me give this to him instead. And I just told him like, hey, how about you keep this knife and you should give me back my work knife. Oh, there's a crow eating fucking trash in the street, bro. Damn. I mean, I'll let him get his snack. He's kind of intelligent with it. Holy shit. But yeah, because I felt the urge to give him the knife because not only was the one I had like just this fucking, it's like finger length, dog, and I was just like, he needs this, especially after he just told me, he's out here protecting himself. yeah, man, he needs this. So I gave it to him, and he was like, oh, dude, thank you so much. And he deserves that knife. Even when I first took it out, and, before I just said I was going to give it to him, he was showing me parts and shit on the knife. I didn't even know what they did, dude. And they all pertain to work. It was, like windbreaker and all that. And I was like, dude, this kid knows his shit. And a little bit long story short, the bus goes on a little bit. And unfortunately, he missed his bus stop. I don't know. Now that I think about it, because there was a lot of people at that stop, maybe the bus driver just skipped that stop because of the amount of people and just that one kid. I don't know. It's possible. Who knows? But unfortunately, he missed his stop. I think he was trying to go get to his mom's. So we ended up getting off at the same stop, and like I was like, fuck, because like now, like it just so happens, this is my stop off the bus. My normal stop. It's the one time I happen to be getting off with a kid. And I just really hope it doesn't look weird, but I'm sure the bus driver's seen, our conversation, just how it was going. Nothing wrong at all. But Rhodey kid, if you ever see this, bless you. Bless you. Because, man, you're that young, just out here by yourself on the bus. Bless you, kid. I wish you the best in life. I hope, pray, wish that you prosper, that you attain the things that you aspire for. I pray that the right lights will show up in your life to guide you in the right direction. And I hope everything works out for you, kid. Seriously. Good kid. There's a lot of potential in that mind. There's a lot of potential there. And I just wish you the best. I wish you the best, Rhodey. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I know for a fact he'll remember the guy who gave him the knife. So I wish you the best, kid. Good luck.